The PPSh-41 is a brand new, crazy good addition to Call of Duty Warzone Season 3. It's a fast-firing SMG that might be able to outperform the MAC-10 and the MP5. I will start with the initial best loadout for the PPSh-41 for Cold War, then I will convert that loadout to Warzone, because the attachments are slightly different. I will show you the best bullet pattern of 2 possible loadouts for the PPSh, and the last one is by far the absolute best bullet pattern that I could find. I will share my initial thoughts while I was using the gun, and I will show you lots of great kills with the new SMG and with the new sniper rifle for Warzone. I've been able to go to a private server, and there I've discovered a pretty good loadout already for the PPSh-41. I will share that loadout with you today so you can work towards unlocking those specific attachments. As always, you unlock the PPSh-41 at level 15 in the new battle pass. After that, you're gonna have to unlock the weapon, preferably with weapon XP boost. That will make your unlocking process a lot quicker. You can do this in Warzone itself, or you can do this in Cold War. It depends on which game you have and what you prefer to play. Initially, I set up this weapon with the standard attachments that we expect to use on an SMG like this, but then I discovered something better. So I went for the GRU suppressor, which is sort of something that everybody expects, and additionally it gives you a 7% vertical recoil control bonus. On top of that, it makes you silent, which is absolutely great. For the barrel, the best one is actually the 14.9-inch rifled, because it gives you a 25% effective damage range and the penalty is almost insignificant, of -5% on the sprint movement speed, and that's it. All the other barrels have too high penalties, and you should avoid those at all costs. Magazine size, similar story. All the magazines have a super high penalty, except for the 55 round drum. That one increases your magazine size, but the downside is a slower reload time, which is acceptable because all the other ones have a penalty on ADS times and a bunch of other things that you really don't want. For your handle, the Serpent Wrap stands out. It gives you an additional 25% boost on the ADS time, but your sprint to fire speed will suffer a little bit, but I'll explain why this is acceptable later. And last but not least, the Raider stock, something that we all got used to since the FFVR became so incredibly good. So I went to a private server and this was the result. So you aim at the bottom of this garage door and let the gun jump up. The final result is a bullet pattern that first jumps up to the top left and then makes a super violent move to the right, almost horizontal, and then it pulls up to the top right. This is very difficult to control in every single gunfight. So this is something we're gonna have to change later, because the attachments that we used are not as good as we thought they were. However, let's just try to compensate for it and see what the result is. Let's get a little bit closer, and then everything looks like this. It's still relatively tight, but keep in mind this is a very short range engagement distance, and the bullet spread is still relatively high. So let's see what we can improve. So let's revisit our loadout and let's see what we can change. It all starts with the GRU suppressor, no changes here. Then the 14.9-inch Ranger, there's nothing better out there, so we'll keep that. However, we're gonna change something else. We need an underbarrel, and for that we're gonna go with the Spetsnaz grip. Now, it gives you better recoil control horizontally and vertically. Horizontally 22%, vertically 8%. Now, this all translates in a much better bullet pattern, but you get a penalty on the shoot movement speed. The 55 round drum is still the best one out there, so we keep that, and we go for the Raider stock, same as last time. Alright, let's now check out the new bullet pattern and see which improvements that we're gonna get. So same as before, you aim at the bottom of the garage and let the gun jump up, and then you'll see you get a much better bullet pattern already, just by changing one attachment. Okay, let's try to compensate for this and see what that looks like. Definitely not bad on the first attempt. Everything is nicely grouped together and it's easy to compensate for this. The bullet pattern still goes up to the top left and then it still violently moves to the right, but you notice now you can compensate for this and it's much tighter, so you'll have to do much less to compensate for this bullet pattern for the PPSh-41. Now, what does this translate to for Warzone? So you go for the suppressor that you unlock on level 46. Then you take the 14.9-inch reinforced heavy, because you get effective damage range and you get bullet velocity. The 14.9-inch Ranger only improves the bullet velocity. Remember, the 14.9-inch rifled from Cold War gave you 25% effective damage range. We don't have that in Warzone, so we'll have to go with a reinforced heavy. For the grips, for the underbarrel, you have to go for the one that you unlock at level 41. And you keep the 55 round drum, again for the ammo capacity and a very small penalty on the reload quickness. And of course for the stock, you go for the Raider stock that you unlock at level 54. So what are my initial thoughts while using this gun? Well, it's an absolutely insane SMG. It's incredibly good, but the hipfire is absolutely terrible. Forget about hipfire, don't use it, you're not gonna kill anybody with it. ADS at all times unless you're really up close and personal. This is the biggest downside of this weapon. The great thing is that the magazine size is so incredibly good because it's so big. You got 55 bullets, you can kill at least 3 to 4 guys with one magazine without having to reload. This gives you a massive advantage in Warzone. Now I have to say, you're not gonna be the fastest guy on the battlefield. There are other weapons that allow you to move faster. The PPSh is not the fastest moving weapon out there. Having said that, they're not gonna beat your magazine size. You will still be in the fight while they have to reload. This is a great advantage to have, but you will have to compensate for the slightly slower movement speed. The iron sights are pretty good as well. I tried to use this weapon with the sight, but it was overkill. You don't need it. You will still outperform other players just by using the iron sights. I know that you're dying to see the stats, and for that I got your back as well. I will now start working on the stats video for the PPSh and for the new sniper rifle, the Swiss K31. So in the meantime, check out some of the other weapon guides about your favorite guns right here on Fog of Gaming, and make sure to subscribe so that you won't miss out any of the new weapon guides. Or you can also ask that question during a live stream. The link is in the video description. This is Fog of Gaming, thanks for watching, now I'll see you in Warzone.